Hello everyone. Good morning children. How are you all? I hope you all well. So today we are going to start lecture number 3 of chapter 8. So in the first and second lecture we have done some topics which were very important for examination. In that topic we learned about the equity share, preference shares, then difference between equity and preference shares, types of equity shares, types of preference shares, etc. And also learned about some characteristics of equity and preference shares. So today we are going to start a new topic, that is retained profit or plowing back of profit. So come to the page number 90. So today's topic is retained profit or plugging back of profit. But before that we have discussed some topic which we have learned in last lecture. So in lecture number 1 and lecture number 2 we learned about the meaning of business finance, नीड ऑफ बिजनेस फिनेंस. सो हमें कैसे नीड है बिजनेस फिनेंस की, हमें कब कब ज़रूरत पड़ती है. सो फॉर द एस्टेब्लिश द बिजनेस, देन फॉर द परचेज ऑफ फिक्स एसेट, देन फॉर द करंट एसेट, ऑल्सो फॉर द मॉडर्नाइजेशन एंड एक्सपेंशन एंड फॉर एक्सीडेंटल रिक्वायरमेंट्स. देन importance of finance in business firm. So in business firm, finance is very important for all the activity. Without the finance we cannot operate a business and also we cannot run it. So excuse me. Okay, so finance is a very important in our business firm. So we can say that like importance of blood in our human body, like that importance of capital or finance in business unit. So then honors fund. So in honor funds there is three part: equity share, preference shares, and retained profit or plugging back profit. So in equity share there is ordinary, sweat equity and other equity share. And in preference share is redeemable after 20 years and second one is before 20 years. Then meaning of equity shares and characteristics of equity share. So there is a 10 characteristics: true owners, right to vote, rate of dividend, profit related, then general meeting, general repayment of capital, and dissolution or liquidation, share of qualification, capital benefits, and registration of shares. Then the next one is the types of equity share: ordinary, sweat, and other. We have already discussed about it in detail in last lecture, so now not needed. Then next, preference shares. Meaning of preference shares, characteristics of preference shares. So there is 6 characteristics: dividend, right to vote, preference, market price, proportion of risk, and repayment of capital. And types of preference shares, so redeemable before 20 years and after 20 years. Clear? Good. So then difference between equity and preference shares. So basis of difference is compulsory, as I told you in last lecture. If you don't write basis of difference, then you don't get score. Okay. Now finally we start the new topic: retained profit or plugging back of profit. Meaning of both the words are same. Retained profit and plugging back of profit, both are the same defined, right? So what is a retained profit? So when a business is in good financial position and earn more profit, at that time distributing all the profit in form of dividend, company keep some part of profit for future for something future reason. that is called retained profit. See, now we read from the textbook wordings. So during the sound financial position, that means when a business run in good situation and earn a more profit. At that time, instead of distributing all profit in form of dividend, company keeps some part of profit in form of reserve in business for future reference and for the future payment of business liabilities. These retained earnings are reinvested in business. Then it is called plugging back of profit or retained profit. Clear? When company run in good financial position and earn more profit, and at that time company kept some part of that profit for the future liabilities and reinvest that profit in our business. That is called retained profit or plugging back of profit. Clear? Good. Now, advantages of retained profit or plugging back profit. So first advantage is that useful in times of recession. Recession means मंदी का time हो, जब बाजार डाउन हो. So negative changes in market as well as to face difficulties arising in times of recession, the retained profit is very useful because at that time our company not earn that much profit and also face some difficulties. So at that time we need some finance and then we use this retained profit. Second one is a useful in implementation of future plan. So for the implementation of future plan like a development of business unit, expansion or modernization, there is need to raise capital because for the expansion and modernization we need some machineries and technology, and for that purchase of machine and technology we need to raise capital, and company does not have depend on external sources. So for at that time and for that reason we use this profit. So it is very useful at the time of implementation of future plans. Then the third one is the useful to purchase a new asset. For the purchase of new asset, we also use this profit. So at the end of estimated life of asset, the retained profit can be used to purchase new asset. When our current or old asset complete the estimated life and then we need some new asset, so for the purchase of that we use this retained profit. Fourth one is fixed dividend policy. When sometimes company adopt a stable dividend policy, then retained profit become useful. स्टेबल डिविडेंड पॉलिसी दैट मीन्स डिविडेंड रेट है वो फिक्स होता है, कुछ अप एंड डाउन नहीं होता. नेक्स्ट, बर्डन फ्री असेट. एज इट इज़ अ सोर्स ऑफ ऑनरशिप कैपिटल रिटेन प्रॉफिट, देयर इज नो नीड टू क्रिएट बर्डन ऑन असेट. दैट मीन्स हमें कोई लोन वगैरह की नीड नहीं होती. देन बोरोड कैपिटल कैन बी रिपेड. From this retained profit we can repay the loan and other borrowed capital. So it is also used to repay the borrowed capital. Then decrease in cost of capital. See, due to having a retained profit more in business unit, company cannot depends on raise capital by external source like debentures and borrowed fund, and that's why the no expenditure incurred in getting capital, and then there is a decrease in cost of capital. So it is a very very good for our business. And the last one is the honors fund, and plugging back of a profit is an honor fund. There is no need to pay interest or dividend in on it. So it is very beneficial for company. Now we revise the advantages head points. Useful in a time of recession, useful in implementation of future plan, useful to purchase new asset, then fixed dividend policy, burden free asset, borrowed capital can be repaid, decrease in cost of capital, and honors fund. Now clear about the advantages of a retained profit and what is the retained profit. I hope you all understood perfectly, and now you have 4 to 5 minutes to revise these advantages and meaning. So now you just revised it, uh, if as much as possible फास्ट रिवीजन करना, एटलीस्ट 2 to 3 मिनट्स में कंप्लीट कर देना. ओके, सो स्टार्ट द रिवाइज एडवांटेजेस एंड मीनिंग, and if you have a doubt then note down and you can ask me through the YouTube channel in comment. Okay, good. First revise the meaning, read the meaning, and then advantages. Done meaning. Now start the read of advantages and underline the hard words and important words for exam timing, which is very helpful for you, huh? Very helpful to you. Done? Okay, done? Good. Now, limitation. See, retained profit is very good for business, but like a coin has a two-sided head and tail, like that, everything has a two side, advantages and limitation. So retained profit is advantage as well as limitation. So we have seen about the some advantages, and now we are start the limitation of retained profit. So first, encouragement to monopoly. Excessive plowing back of profit encourages monopoly. So that is our limitation. The next one is a promote speculation. Second one, promote speculation. Many a times, manager of business by paying less dividend carry excess profit to reserve fund. Sometimes, manager of a business paying less dividend intentionally and carry excess profit to reserve fund. And on the result of that, market price of share decreases, and at that time director buy a shares, and in a future they declare a high dividend, and when market price is increases and then sell that such a share is higher price, they derive a personal profit. See, मैं आपको ना हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन करती हूँ, बिकॉज दिस लैंग्वेज इज अ लिटल मच डिफिकल्ट फॉर you understood, because it is a language of a market and properly commerce. So now you are the new one for the commerce. तो आपको इतना क्लियरली नहीं समझ आएगा, तो मैं आपको हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन करती हूँ. सी, समटाइम्स क्या होता है कि मैनेजर्स जो होते हैं ना, वो डिविडेंड लेस पे करते हैं, क्योंकि रिजर्व फंड ज़्यादा इंक्रीज़ करने के लिए. और जब हम डिविडेंड लेस पे करते हैं ना, तो हमारे शेयर्स की मार्केट प्राइस डिक्रीज़ हो जाती है, एंड मार्केट प्राइस डिक्रीज़ होते ही डायरेक्टर से वो शेयर परचेज कर लेते हैं, क्योंकि मार्केट प्राइस कम थी. तो कम प्राइस में वो पहले तो परचेज कर लेते हैं, एंड देन डिविडेंड ज़्यादा डिक्लेयर करते हैं, बिकॉज डिविडेंड कितना डिक्लेयर हो उनके ऊपर मार्केट प्राइस डिसाइड होती है. तो जब लेस डिविडेंड डिक्लेयर हो तो मार्केट प्राइस डिक्रीज होती है, एंड व्हेन हायर डिविडेंड डिक्लेयर हो तो मार्केट प्राइस इंक्रीज होती है. तो फर्स्ट वो क्या करते हैं, मार्केट प्राइस डिक्रीज करने के लिए डिविडेंड कम पे करते हैं, एंड मार्केट प्राइस डिक्रीज हो जाती है तो वो खुद कम प्राइस में परचेस कर लेते हैं, एंड देन सडनली हाई डिविडेंड डिक्लेयर करते हैं, तो प्राइस इंक्रीज होती है, तो फिर वो मार्केट में वो शेयर जो होते हैं वो सेल कर देते हैं। तो उनको तो प्रॉफिट हुआ कि पहले परचेज किया कम में और सेल किया मोर प्राइस में। सो फॉर द पर्सनल प्रॉफिट, तो वो जो डायरेक्टर्स होते हैं वो ऐसा करते हैं। सो दिस वन इज द लिमिटेशन ऑफ retained profit promote speculation. Then the third one is difficult for financially weak and for new companies. See, if our business is new, then in starting profit is not that much on. So for the new companies, plugging back is little bit difficult, and also for the weak companies, because weak company does not get good profit, and that's why they not maintain the retained profit. So for the weak and a new company, it is very difficulties. Then the fourth one is a no benefit to small investor. Small investor invest in business unit for expectation of higher dividend. And if a director prefer a plug back profit more necessary, then small investor do not get sufficient dividend. See, small investor है वो invest क्यों करते हैं business में? Because उनको higher dividend की expectation होती है. And अगर इसमें से डायरेक्टर जो होते हैं वो अगर रिटेन प्रॉफिट करे तो डिविडेंड कम पे होता है। सो उनकी वजह से स्मॉल इन्वेस्टर को सेटिस्फेक्शन नहीं मिलता, बिकॉज सफिशिएंट डिविडेंड नहीं मिलता। सो नो बेनिफिट टू स्मॉल इन्वेस्टर। So here we done the limitations of retained profit. There is a four limitation: encouragement to monopoly, promote speculation, difficult for financially weak and for a new company, and the fourth one is the no benefit to small investor. Now you have 2 minutes for read these four limitation. Then we'll moving on next topic, that is borrowed fund. But before that, you just read these limitations, and we revise total head points of advantage and limitation, and then we'll start the borrowed fund. Done. Now we revise the head point of advantages and limitations both. So, advantage of retained profit: useful in a time of recession, useful in implementation of future plan, useful to purchase new asset, fixed dividend policy, burden-free asset, borrowed capital can be repaid, decrease in cost of capital, and honors fund. And the limitation is encouragement to monopoly, promote speculation, then difficult for financially weak and for the new companies. And the last one is no benefit to small investor. So here we done the last topic of honors fund, that is retained profit. In honors fund we can see in this chart there is a three-part: equity, preference, and retained profit, and we have done this three part of honors fund. And now we are moving on next topic, that is borrowed fund. So in borrowed fund, first one is a debenture. Debenture is borrowed funds for business. But what is the debenture? So now we explain and try to understand what is debenture. When a company require more capital, when company require more capital and more fund, at that time company issue a debenture to raise borrowed capital, and it is a liability of the company. Buyers of debenture, that is called debenture holder. See, buyers of shares, that is shareholder, and buyers of debenture is called debenture holders, and debenture holder as the creditor of company. Debenture holder are paid interest at pre-decided rate and at specified टाइम। डिबेंचर होल्डर का इंटरेस्ट है वो फिक्स रेट होता है एंड टाइम भी डिसाइड होता है। एंड ऑल्सो एट द एंड ऑफ द प्री डिसाइड limit time limit, money is returned or transferred into share as per the condition. If a debenture is a transferable, then it is a transferred into the shares, and it is a not a transferable or a convertible, then it is returned to the debenture holder. This is an important source for the satisfying company's requirement for a long time and medium term finance, because debenture is a long time. Debenture is a sorry, just a minute. हाँ, debenture is a fund which which is helpful to company for a long time or else for a medium time. It depends on situation. When debenture are issued, trusted are appointed for a protection of interest of debenture holder, who protect the interest of debenture holder as per the trust deed. Because डिबेंचर होल्डर का जो इंटरेस्ट है, उनका जो प्रोटेक्शन है, वो कौन करता है? तो उनके लिए एक ट्रस्टी अपॉइंट किया जाता है हु प्रोटेक्ट द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ डिबेंचर होल्डर एज पर द कंडीशन ऑफ ट्रस्ट डीड. Now, characteristics of debenture. But before that, you have 10 seconds to read this paragraph and underline the hard words and important words which is necessary to revise at the time of examination. In 10 seconds, you complete this para and then we'll start a characteristics of debenture. Done? 10 seconds complete. Good. Now, characteristic of debenture. So, first one, creditor of a company. Debenture holder are the creditors of company we seen in the paragraph, because debenture is a liability of a company or a debt of company. It is a long term. That's why we can say that a debt of company, and the reason is that the debenture holder are the creditors. Next, fixed rate of interest. Debenture interest rate are the fixed and time also pre-decided. So debenture holder are paid interest at pre-decided rate and time. Charge on asset or burden on asset. So for the protection of money of debenture holder, company create a charge as a security on its asset in favor of debenture holder. Means company can use this asset. That means a charge or burden, that means a mortgage or a pledge. उनका मीनिंग क्या होता है कि अगर डिबेंचर होल्डर को कंपनी रुपीस पे ना कर सके तो वो असेट सेल करके भी उनके रुपीस है वो पे करे. तो एंड द रीज़न इज दैट द ओनली वन द प्रोटेक्शन फॉर द डिबेंचर होल्डर्स मनी. So for the protection of money of debenture holder, company create a charge on its asset. Next one is a necessity. It is a useful tool to satisfy the need of long-term and medium-term finance. Registration at a stock exchange. If debenture is listed at a stock market, then it can be sold or purchased. If and only if when and only when if it is listed in stock market, otherwise not. Then sixth one is the repayment. At the end of time limit, the entire amount of debenture are repaid either once at a time or as per agreement by installment. It depends on agreement and condition. If debentures टाइम लिमिट कंप्लीट एंड देन रिपेड एक साथ प्रीपेड करते हैं और एक इंस्टॉलमेंट और इन इंस्टॉलमेंट. इट डिपेंड्स ऑन एग्रीमेंट. देन फर्स्ट प्रेफरेंस फॉर पेमेंट. So as a debenture are a debt of company, so at the time of liquidation, along with the third parties, that the money of debentures are paid. That means before the preference shares and equity shares, debentures are repaid. So here we done the characteristics of debentures. First one, creditors of company. Next, fixed rate of interest. Next, charge on asset. Fourth, necessary. Fifth, registration at stock exchange. Sixth, repayment. And seven, first preference for payment. So here we done the meaning and characteristics of debenture holder. You have 1 minute for revise or read the characteristics of debenture holder. Then we'll start the types of debenture. You have only 1 minute. Okay? Done? Good. Now, types of debenture. So there is a main three types, that is a secure debenture, convertible debenture, and non-convertible debenture. Secure debenture means a debenture issued with the charge on asset for a security against the debenture's holder money. That is called secure debenture. See, we can see in characteristics a charge on asset. So, when we charge on asset of a company's security for charge on asset for the security of a debenture's money and issued this type of debenture is called secured debenture. Then see, I explain in my own words and then we'll read in textbook. Then the second one is a convertible debenture. When debenture which is converting into share after a specified time as per the agreement, that is called convertible debentures. And in convertible debentures, there is a two type, partly and fully. If all the amounts of debenture convert in shares, then it is called fully. And if some part of that debenture convert in share, that is called partly convertible debenture. And the last one is a non-convertible debenture. When debentures are not converted into share, then it is called non-convertible debenture. So I hope you understood in my own words. Now we read in textbook language. So first one is a secured debenture. Such a debenture when issued with the charge on asset of a company as a security against the money of debenture are called secured debenture or mortgage debenture. This mortgage asset can be used by company. It means a floating charge is created on the asset. So here we done the secure debenture and explanation of convertible and non-convertible from the textbook will doing in next lecture. So in today's lecture we learned about the retained profit, advantages, disadvantages, and also borrowed fund. My first debenture and characteristics of debenture. So in today's homework, write a short note on debenture with head points of characteristic. Write a short note on debenture with characteristics only the head points. And also write the meaning of retained profit and advantages and disadvantages of retained profit. Only head points you need to write because in assignments and fair book you need a detailed information. So now you write only the head points of advantage and disadvantage and characteristics. Okay. So here we done, and from the next lecture we start the convertible debenture. Okay, goodbye everyone.